My name is Brando Cruz, and I'm honored to serve as one of your council members here in American Canyon and to be your master of ceremonies for tonight's very special occasion, the opening of the wall that heals here in American Canyon. For many of us, such as myself, this is the first time I've ever seen the wall in person. We've heard about it, we've read about it, and may have seen photos of this solemn structure that you see before yourselves and understand the sacrifice of this conflict. However, seeing it in person evokes a powerful feeling of remembrance and gratitude for the 58,281 men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So yesterday I came here to see the wall as it was being put together. And as it was being set up from a distance, I saw a gentleman who was walking his dog and just staring at the structure. So I approached him just to say hello. We exchanged pleasantries. And before I could say anything else, or before we could even introduce ourselves, the tears just began falling down his face. And so with that, he said to me, I have a lot of buddies on that wall, and this is the first time I've ever seen it in person myself. And I'm really happy to see that they're being remembered and honored. So tonight, we come together as a community to honor our veterans, to remember those who never made it home, and to thank the families who carry their memory every single day. So please rise if you're able and join me for the presentation of the colors presented by the American Canyon U.S. Army Recruiting Guard. Please remain standing for the national anthem performed by the students from the American Canyon High School Choir.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, clouds bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the
Beautiful. Thank you, ACHS Choir.
Right. All right. Go. Right. Right. Right.
And now, Daisy Troop number 31566 will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. All right. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Pierre Washington for the reading of the city's proclamation.
Please, everybody have a seat, or those who can have a seat. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to stand here before you both as your mayor and as a fellow veteran and welcome you to the Wall of the Hills here to American Canyon. At this time, I'd like to share a special proclamation recognizing this moment for our city and for our community. The Wall of the Hills this week, October 16th through October 19th, 2025. Whereas the Wall of the Hills is a traveling 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C., accompanied by a mobile educational center, offering the community a chance to remember, to honor, and to heal. And whereas since its debut in 1996, the Wall at Hills has visited hundreds of communities across the nation, creating space for veterans, families, and citizens to reconnect with their names, stories, and sacrifices of those who served, while fostering education and understanding of the Vietnam War's impact on individuals, in their families, and on the communities. Whereas Vietnam Veteran Memorial Fund's mission is to honor and to preserve the memory of those who served and to educate all generations about the sacrifices made by service members and their loved ones. Whereas we recognize the special importance of this monument coming to American Canyon between October 16th and 19th, which gives our community, including Vietnam veterans, their families, and residents, a space to reflect, to remember, and to give thanks for meaningful ways. And whereas Vietnam veterans from American Canyon and Napa County, whether still among us or just remembered, made sacrifices both abroad and at home, and their courage, their service are part of our city's heritage. And whereas it is fitting that American Canyon welcomes the Wall That Heals, not only with ceremonies, but with open hearts to honor their stories, to learn, and to heal together and as a community. And whereas we invite all citizens, community organizations, schools, veteran groups, and local leaders to participate in the ceremonies, visit the exhibits, and stand together in remembrance, gratitude, and in healing. And now, therefore, I, Pierre Washington, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim October 16th through 19th as the Wall of the Hills Week in American Canyon. In honor of all veterans, Vietnam veterans, those who did not return because of their sacrifices and the strength that are woven into the story of our nation. May we always remember and never forget the price of freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Washington. It is my honor to welcome our keynote speaker, Vietnam veteran from Benicia VFW Post, Commander Hector Fulgencio.
Good evening, everybody. Again, welcome, and I thank you for being here on this special day. You know, again, as Brando said, my name is Hector Fulgencio. I'm a Vietnam vet and currently the post commander for the Benicia Post. And I'm extremely proud, very honored to speak at this special event, Wall That Heals. You know, again, this mobile structure is a replica of the Vietnam War Memorial that's in D.C., and I wanted to go there, but I'm just glad I can just be here and see this. You know, but it's a tribute to the 58,200 U.S. soldiers who died or were missing as a result of the war that started on November 1st, 1955, till the fall of Saigon on April 30th, 1975. I served on active duty from 1974 to 1978 in the U.S. Air Force, where I was an aeromedical evacuation technician, flight instructor. Before the fall of Saigon in April of 1975, at 18 years old, I was involved in the Operations New Life. Anybody here remember that? For all us Vietnam vets. And then Operations Baby Lift. And so, just real quick with the Operations New Life. The memory I have is I was manning the emergency room tent over there. And this woman comes in, this Vietnamese woman, she comes in. And the day prior to that, she came in with this little baby. And it brought back memories of my time with my daughter. And so the next day she came in and the baby was in convulsion. And I didn't know what to do, but I was a medic. I was, it's OJT, but the baby died in my arms. And so that was one of the memories that I do have. Both were the rescue and airlift of our wounded soldiers and the Vietnamese refugees. In Operations New Life, Baby Lift, there was my sister flight. There were two nurses that were involved. We were in aeromedical evacuations. And the flight nurses, they were part of my sister flight, and they died during that time because that time, the C-5, the cargo flew open, and it killed several of the babies and several of the members. So that's another, let's say, very hard time. It's memorable in that sense. I primarily manned the Tent City emergency room, where I gained my experience on the job training. I just finished medical training, technical school, right? But I got my true experience there, working on trying to take care of the refugees and our soldiers. My dad, in fact, I actually celebrated my 19th birthday during Operations New Life. My dad and several family members were Vietnam vets and were part of America's veterans who were some of the finest examples of the American spirit and citizenship in our history. When asked to join their countrymen and defend the principles of freedom and liberty abroad, they answered the call to serve. Many volunteered to join America's military. For me, I volunteered. Others were drafted. No matter how they were asked to answer the call, they answered. Many faced constant challenges. Remember, Vietnam vets, shifting the landscapes, foreign land culture, volatile weather, and an unpredictable threat. Those in combat had battles that lasted for hours to weeks. Hard-earned territory could change hands in a matter of moments. Nonetheless, America's courageous sons and daughters in uniform persevered. But the difficulties we faced during the Vietnam War did not end when we returned home. We were blamed for a war that we did not start, ridiculed when we should have been celebrated. Many were never given a simple but important acknowledgement of their military service. I had personal experience of those challenges. Now, more than 50 years later, we have the benefit of time to appreciate, celebrate, and honor the selfless sacrifice, service of thousands of Americans during the Vietnam War. We owe them a great debt of gratitude. For all Vietnam vets, please, if you're standing, can you come forward? I'd like to recognize you guys. all Vietnam vets. I know there are more than that. All right, you can face the crowd. To my fellow Vietnam comrades, thank you for your service. Thank you for putting your life on the line for our country in the fight for the liberties and freedoms of others. Thank you for your personal sacrifice in a time of great uncertainty. You reminded Americans of what it meant to serve, what it meant to answer the call of your country. You became leaders, paving the way for future generations of American service members. You cared for each other and those who followed in your footsteps. You ensured all who serve in our nation's military will be treated with the respect and gratitude they are due. The state of California and Solano County will never forget your bravery, your dedication, and your sacrifice. Vietnam vets, welcome home. May God bless you, your families, and the United States of America. Thank you.
Hector, thank you so much for that amazing story and what you shared with us today. Thank you. And the veterans that just walked back, thank you for your service. We're here for you. So as we gather here today, we pay our respects to the, as Hector mentioned, the 58,281 men and women honored on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, but also the millions of Americans who served in our nation's military in the 250 years of our nation's history. Over 3 million men and women in uniform served during the Vietnam era from 1956 to 1975. So again, another recognition not only for the Vietnam veterans, but those who served during the Vietnam era. Would you please stand up? Nevertheless, thank you for your service. Those Vietnam veterans made sure that all those who served before and after the Vietnam War were honored and recognized with each day through phrases such as welcome home and thank you for your service. Will our veterans of World War II, Korea, and all other military conflicts before and after Vietnam, please stand if you're able to be recognized. Our nation is stronger because of the brave young men and women who are willing to put on a uniform for their country. Will all those still serving please stand to be recognized for your present service in our nation's military? I think it's time to stand already. Thank you for your service. As part of this ceremony, we'll now read the names of our Napa County hometown heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice during the Vietnam War. These brave men represent courage, service, and sacrifice that will never, never be forgotten. Tyson V. Beale, Ronald A. Beardsley, Michael R. Bishop, Robert H. Bueller, Louis Castro, Michael R. Klassen, Robert L. Coonrod, Michael Elkington, Arnold J. Ferrari, Jimmy L. Fisher, Robert E. Flannery Jr., James P. Francis, Stephen G. Hicks, Jack D. Lanley, Dan S. Long, Patrick D. Moriarty, Ricky A. Myers, Jerry W. Ostadal, Gary W. Rodriguez, Lawrence R. Shepard, Charles H. Bessie, Robert A. Williams, Edward W. Woodruff, and Douglas P. Zebra. Thank you all for your service. Yes. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge dignitaries and, of course, community leaders who come here to join us today. We have Pierre Washington, our mayor. Please stand, Mr. Mayor. Vice Mayor Mark Joseph. And Council Member Melissa Lamontina. I hope I got everybody. All right, so again, thank you everyone who joined us this evening. May this wall bring peace, healing, and reflection to all who visit tonight. And now please stand if you're able, as we will have taps performed by Mr. Jesse Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Everyone, that concludes our ceremony for tonight. If you want to hang around and check it out, thank you.